Okay. This standard, we're really going to focus on methods of training. And we're going to interrelate that with principles of training. And these things interrelate. Surrounding everything, overriding everything will be your sports psychology. We've discussed it at length already. That overrides everything. You can bring that into anything you do, because everything that you do has an element of psychology to it, whether it be self-talk or goal setting or all those different things. That all interrelates. Now, we have already discussed now at length. We've discussed at length a method of training, stretching. We've discussed that at length. I really wanted you to try stretching and actually complete a stretching routine yesterday. Alright? Most people didn't. Sorry, on Tuesday. Most people didn't, that's fine. The other method of training we're going to look at is resistance training. And the last one we're going to look at is aerobic training. Alright, these all relate to a different component of fitness. By doing these things, you improve in different components of fitness. And we've been through all those different components of fitness. Alright, some of them are skill related, some of them are health related. Alright, we do this so that we improve a type of fitness. Now, principles of training. Alright, the principles of training remain the same, doesn't matter what type of training you do. Alright, and the best way of understanding principles of training is to draw a little diagram. What we're trying to achieve by doing training, what we're trying to achieve is we're trying to overload. We're trying to overload an area, a part of our body. Alright, we're trying to stress a certain part of our body. In terms of when we're doing our stretching the other day, what we were trying to overload was our muscles and our joints. And we're trying to get a bigger range of movement, or a bigger range of motion in those joints. Alright, and we're overloading those proprioceptors. Alright, we're putting them under stress. What happens once we overload is that our body adapts. Adaptation. Physiological adaptation. Changes. That basically means change. An area of the body that we have overloaded and stressed will now change as a result. Our body doesn't like being overloaded and stressed, and our body will change to meet that adaptation, to meet that stress. So it doesn't. So when you do it again, right, it's not going to be stressed the next time. It's going to change, and that's the whole point of doing training, is to get change. All right, get change. Physiological adaptation. All right, does that make sense? Any questions about that? From there, you have to progress. Progression. Progression. You have to, the next time you do that particular exercise or that particular training, you have to increase it somehow. You have to progress. And you can progress in so many different ways. You can progress the frequency. Do it more often. You can progress the intensity. Intensity, you do it harder. You can increase the duration, do it longer. Alright? These are all different types of progression you can do. Either do it more often, do it harder, or do it for longer. Alright? It's all different types of progression. From there, once you've done that, you're back to overloading, aren't you? Alright? And then you're right back going around the circle. And this is how you train. You do this. This is what you're doing the whole time. Doing that. As soon as you stop training, alright, as soon as you stop training, you go backwards. This will go the opposite way around. Alright, and what that's called is reversibility. We will probably start training in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully less than that. And halfway through, we're going to have the term break, aren't we? Have a 2-week break. And over that term break, alright, that 2-week break, and you don't train anymore, if you stop training, you're going to get reversibility. And this physiological adaptation will go backwards. And this will all go backwards, and you'll be starting from backwards from where you were. And that is a principle of training, reversibility. Alright? You stop what you're doing, you stop your training program for a length of time, you get reversibility. Another key part of training, or a key principle of training, is called specificity. Specificity means that the way you train is specific for your goal. If your goal is to get really strong, why would you do stretching? If your goal is to run a marathon, why would you lift big heavy weights? If your goal is to increase power, alright, why on earth would you train, you train specifically for what you're trying to achieve, and you're training for a component of fitness which you have identified. It would be pointless Usain Bolt running for 3 kilometres. In fact, that is just going to actually create the wrong sort of physiological adaptation and a waste of his time. It's not going to make him run 100 metres faster. Right? It is a waste of time. A marathon runner lifting big heavy weights. Pointless. He doesn't require power. He doesn't require strength. Alright, so specificity relates to that. What you're doing is directly related to the component of fitness that you have identified. And it's a very important principle of training. Stretching. We've done 3 different types of stretching. We've done static, we've looked at that. We've looked at dynamic and PNF. You overloaded the joint or the muscle. Physiological adaptation occurred. You progressed. You overloaded again. Physiological adaptation occurs. You progress. Alright, now one other key part of, another key principle of training, rest. Rest recovery. Rest and recovery allows the physiological adaptation to occur. All these things here are what we call principles of training, and these things here are methods of training. And they're related to achieving your goal, component of fitness that you have identified. Overriding everything is your sports psychology. So your writing is around all this stuff. That in a nutshell is what we're going to be learning about for 10 weeks. Right, I'm going to stop that.